Hi, this is Jason with War Performance, hanging out in front of the shop with our shop dog Bobby. We're getting ready to go inside and look at the new Haltech Rebel LS EFI system. Okay, this is the Haltech Rebel LS kit for the Gen 3 drive-by cable with EV1 injectors. At this point, they don't have transmission control, but that should be coming soon, we hope. The kit comes in this nifty bag, which is something I haven't seen for an EFI kit before. I think it's pretty cool. Um, then you get your main harness. You get your ECM, which is in here. And some of the accessories like the Wi-Fi antenna, charging cable, and some mounting stuff is in this box. You got the knock sensor adapter harness, injector sub harness. They've got 3 different alternator harnesses. The 2-pin Yazaki, the 4-pin Delco, which I think most people ended up using, and then the 2-pin Bosch. You also get the basically the throttle body sub harness, the T56 transmission harness, and the sensor pack, and then some connectors and terminals. I believe that's for the inputs and outputs. Here's the PCM. As you can see, it's got a couple of super seal connectors on it. It's got a connector for the Wi-Fi antenna, a USB-C port, map sensor port, and your PDM output. Basically, this has 4 outputs for power distribution, and it's got some nice studs on there to connect your main power and ground. It's got nice labeled LED status lights on it. It's probably a pretty familiar setup to anyone who's used to the Halltech Nexus. It's a pretty hefty, well-built unit, it seems. This is what's in that little box that was in the PCM box. It's got your USB cable, nifty keychain, your sticker card, and terminals and mounting hardware for the PCM. There's also a quick start guide in that box. The majority of what you need to know, you'll jump on their website, download the software, and download the manuals for all the main details. But this will give you an overview along with the dimensions for mounting points. It's pretty nice. This is the knock sensor adapter harness for the Gen 3 stuff. Looks like what they do in their harnesses is the main harness comes with the Gen 4 knock sensor connectors. And if you're going to run Gen 3, these will plug into the individual knock sensor connectors, and then this will go to your Gen 3 knock sensor harness. Here's their injector harness. It's got a Deutsch connector for the main, and it's actually got some pretty high quality EV1 connectors on there. These are the kind we like to use. Nice heat shrink labels on everything. Looks like a quality piece. Here are the alternator harnesses. Got the standard 4-pin LS style on the left. For some reason, you need to pin on the connector separately. And then the Bosch 2-pin and the Yazaki 2-pin. Here's the throttle body harness. I like on this that they're using the pull-through style MetroPack connectors instead of the GT150 style. I think these are more reliable. They're a little more of a pain if you need to depin them, but for reliability, I think these are the way to go. And here's the sensor pack. It's pretty much just the IAT or MAT sensor and the wideband. Looks like the wideband is an LSU 4.9. just like the Terminator X. That's to the best of my knowledge. It comes with a bung for the wideband and for the IAT. That's actually a pretty nice thing. It's a couple less things you have to worry about. Went ahead and unrolled the harness, so let's take a look at it. This is all the in-car portion of the harness. Right here is your input and output connectors. They do supply the other side of those connectors with terminals and seals and secondary locks, so that's a good thing. Then you have your PCM connectors, your two super seals, plus your one for the high power, and then this is a CAN bus connector. Next, this is labeled APP, which I assume is accelerator pedal position. One thing I've noticed on some of these connectors is there's no secondary locks. I don't know if that's something they just missed on this first batch, or if that's just the way they've decided to do it. The locks are cheap and easy to put on, so it's not a huge deal. Then the fuel pump wire is also part of the in-cab section. We've got a pretty nice Halltech branded grommet. It's pretty heavy duty. And you've got your next high amperage output. It's labeled AX25 plus. I haven't looked through the manual yet, but I assume that's auxiliary 25 amp positive. Next output is for the fan. Then this is, they've basically gotten the harness broken down into a couple of sides. Got your knock odd, air temperature, throttle, cylinder head ground. I've got one of these on either side of the harness. Ignition odd, another one that's missing the secondary lock. Knock sensor, another one missing secondary lock. And oil pressure. You've got the injector harness off by itself. And then on the even side, you've got ignition even, knock even, wideband O2, crank, cylinder head ground, map sensor, and fuel pressure. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty high quality harness. There's definitely things about it I'd do a little differently. Haven't dealt with the Haltech harness before. This will be our first try at one of them. This is probably going to go on to my 73K5 Blazer for testing, and eventually we might put it on something with a turbo. Big thing we're waiting on is for the transmission control to come out. I'd really like this to control a 4L80 with a trans brake. And the other thing you may have noticed is that this does not have a touchscreen of any kind, but it does have Wi-Fi, so it's real simple to connect your laptop to it. And they have an Android app coming out, and that will be really nice. You should even be able to use your Android stereo in your car if you have one to display gauges and do some tuning. We'll have to see when that comes out and how it works. But this is my first glance at the Haltech Rebel LS. Let me know what you think of it. Here's the 73 Blazer that we'll probably be getting the Halltech kit. It's just a basic 5.3 4L80, the 203 transfer case, and sitting on 1 tons and 38s.